it does seem to be that every composer has his own path nowadays. It's not like an established profession with rules and conventions per se. In that sense, it's been difficult for me to find a place in the kind of composition landscape. So I've been thinking for a long time, actually. I think I'm just going to have to find my own way. I guess Pathways is about that, about finding your own path. It is exactly what I need at this stage of my career, where I don't feel like I fit in. But if there's one thing I want to get out of this, it's the knowledge and ability to make a career as a composer and to kind of to find my own voice and my own way of practicing and my own way of keeping a roof over my head. So the guy I'm going to be entering that next stage with is a chap called Michael Walters. He's a German composer who lives in Birmingham. I actually met him at a seminar in London. I don't remember a lot else from the seminar, but the one thing that stuck with me, he said, and I don't know how true this is, but it certainly spoke to me. He said, you know, unless you're one of the handful of composers in this country that gets all of the commissions, then, you know, you're just going to have to do your own thing. Start applying for funding, start putting you on your own events. And once he said that, I was like, that's my guy. The coaching stage was really important to actually get to the point where I could choose a good mentor, because we did a lot of work around, you know, what is your kind of goal and how do you want to be a composer? How do you want to practice? What kind of music do you want to write? What kind of people do you want to work with? And it wasn't until then when I thought, actually, yeah, Michael is probably a good shout. So I wouldn't have known before the coaching process. I lived in Bristol for 5 years, so I managed to get a good pool of connections. There's a really, really cool art scene in Bristol. I mean, it's awesome. There was a place down my road, an art gallery, that was opening up, and the rent was dirt cheap. They gave me a really good deal. I thought, I've got to do this. So I planned this. So it was kind of, so my idea was I get as many artists as I can to contribute pieces. And then I commissioned some works around a theme. The theme was Lost and Found. So that's quite easy to work with. And I ended up writing 2 pieces for that. One was with a mime artist. So yeah, she did a mime when I wrote a solo cello piece for it. And the other was collaborated with a visual artist. She did like a time-lapse video of church, of like a cathedral window breaking through dawn. It was great. It was an achievement for me, and I broke even. That was my main concern. I thought, I've got to break even. I can't just waste money because it's art. I'm very much informed by the African tradition. So music that's evolved out of that, you know, like hip hop, like electronic dance, etc., reggae. The music that I end up writing sounds as if there's a very subtle but kind of inescapable influence from extra classical idioms. I worship at the altar of Debussy. He's my go-to guy, definitely. And I suppose that whole school really. Like Messiaen, Takemitsu, definitely. My main kind of wish for the kind of new music scene is for it to be accessible to everyone of age, gender, income, education. I think doesn't mean it all has to sound and look the same. I think there be different composers doing different things for different people.